Welcome back to CBS News 24/7. I'm Mugo Odigwe. No deal with Iran except unconditional surrender. That is a new warning from President Trump this hour. And that message comes as Israel announces a new phase in the joint war, heavily bombing Tehran and Lebanon overnight. And Iran, for its part, continues to hit back with missile and drone fire across the Persian Gulf. Meanwhile, there's new video from the U.S. Central Command. They say it shows Iranian targets being, quote, decimated by U.S. forces. The new push from the U.S. commander of CENTCOM, who's leading the charge in the Middle East, is to raise or level Iran's ballistic missile industry. Let's bring in CBS News Pentagon reporter Eleanor Watson. Ellie, before we get to what we heard from the admiral, you have some breaking news on Russia's potential involvement in this conflict?
Yeah, Mugo, multiple sources tell CBS News that Russia is providing Iran with information about U.S. positions in the region. A partnership between Iran and Russia is not necessarily new. We saw Iran provide hundreds of Shahed drones, the type of drones it makes, to Russia for Russia to use in Ukraine. But so far in this war, this is the first involvement of some sort of Russian information, and that brings in another party into this war that does threaten to expand.
Yeah, and now let's go back to the U.S. looking to, quote, raise or level Iran's ballistic missile industry. What is the next phase in this war?
Yeah, it sounds like the military is now not just focused on destroying Iran's current missiles and launchers, but focusing on not allowing them to make any more missiles. Admiral Cooper, in a briefing yesterday, said that the next phase will focus on, as you said it, leveling or raising Iran's ballistic missile production. Already, he said the U.S. has targeted hundreds of missiles and launchers, as well as sunk 30 Iranian Navy ships, another objective the military has in this ongoing campaign. In that same update, Secretary Hegseth said even though Iran hopes that the U.S. cannot sustain this war, the U.S., in his words, has enough offensive and defensive weapons to fight for as long as it takes. But as we were talking about before, it's not just the U.S. who has to worry about how long this fight goes on, but it's also the countries being targeted by Iran in retaliation. Admiral Cooper gave that number. The 12 countries have been targeted, and that includes some countries that CBS reported yesterday do have concerns about dwindling interceptor missiles to stop incoming Iranian attacks that have slowed over the past few days, but haven't stopped yet.
Okay, Eleanor Watson, thank you for your reporting.